Hi, it's Mike at Phase 1. Hot product to talk about today. Brand new product from Equinox. We're going to take our first look at the Equinox Graphix. 100-watt moonflower type effect. Fills the room full of pattern. The beam angle on this is epic. A lot to talk about on this one. A lot to talk about. You know me, I like a chat. Right, so what we got here? Full metal construction, all made of metal. Coming to the back of the unit, we've got IEC in, IEC out. We've got DMX on 3-pin in and out, and we have got our menu section here to access all the built-in programs. And there's a lot of built-in programs into this. You can use an optional CA8 controller, which I'll show you later. Coming to the front of the unit, a little bit unusual this. Not something we've seen for a long time. We've got a focusable lens here, and we've got a rotating disc with dichroic glass on it to reflect the light out. We saw a light like this many years ago, and it was by the same company basically, but they brought a range out called Wildtech. And they were great little lights, but they worked off a light bulb. And what I like what they've done is they've just about copied the chassis from the old Wildtech range, but they had a lot of writing on the front. And I like the idea that they've left this blank. You know, people at events and stuff like that are not interested in what the name of the light is. Yeah, it's printed on the back so we can see what it is, but I think the people standing in front, they don't need to see any marketing blurb. It's not for them. So I really like the way they finished this. It's got a fan on the side, solid metal construction. Let's get some specs. Right, I've got my bit of paper. Right then, it's a 100-watt warm white LED. I know, we're going to show you on in a minute. Beam angle, 75 degrees. A lot of coverage with this. We've got a manual focus on the front like I showed you earlier, and we've got a rotating graphic wheel with a multicoloured mirrored dish like I showed you earlier. DMX, we've got channels 2, 4 or 6. We've got the usual suspects. It'll do auto, it'll do sound active, it'll master and slave, and it's got built-in programs. And you can use it with that optional CA8 controller. Right. Let's get down to these programs because there's quite a lot of them. There is basically 8 programs, 1 to 8. Show 0 is everything. It does everything. But I'm not going to go through all these. What I will do is I'll put a link in the description to this video. It'll let you click through to the manual for this, as well as the link to go through to our website for pricing and information. But let me tell you a couple of things that jumped out. So, show 0 does all of the shows. Right? Show 2 is the mirror dish, the pattern wheel in both directions, no strobe. Like that. It's non-reactive to sound in show 2. It's like a slow mode, and you can adjust the speed via the menu as well. So that interested me. Show number 1 is mirror dish and pattern wheel in both directions, no strobe. So a lot of these lights, you know, when we get them, they can be too stroby, which is not great for all applications. But in the settings, in the shows, there's some shows with strobe and some shows without strobe, and you can speed things up and slow things down. Now I will put this on, and we'll put it into the lighting showroom, and we'll go through some of the shows, and we'll have a little go with the CA8 controller as well. We're going to use it first with no smoke, because I think this is a massive effect with no smoke, and we can't always use smoke in venues. And we'll also put a bit of smoke in the room as well to see what beams we do get off it. Right, so as you can see, there's the light. We've just stuck it on top of a podium. I have flipped it upside down and put a bit of an angle on it. And that is it pointing at our ceiling. Now, it is catching the mirror balls every now and again. You can see that happening, so I need you to kind of ignore that. And we are just talking about the big bold patterns we're seeing. I know sometimes when it catches the mirror ball, you get a little splash of colour. So that's just in a auto mode, scrolling through everything, and we'll have a look at it like that. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to put it on a stand and point it down, and we'll have a look at it on our, we've got a really dark carpet in the shop, and I want to show how bright it is on that dark carpet. But the beam angle on this is just epic. I think, you know, on a short throw, you know, sometimes when we've got our disco lights and we want to, our disco is right at the edge of the dance floor and you want to throw it down onto the floor, you don't get a really good throw on it, which, you know, having a wide beam angle gives you a great advantage for more floor coverage. But I think you'll agree with me as well that those colours are super, super sharp. Everything nicely in focus. Looks really good, that, really happy with that. Right, in the second part of the video, I'm going to put it in sound active mode. And you can see, it's actually picking up off my voice there, but we'll just put a little bit of music on. So what I've done now is I've put it into a different program mode, speeded it up a little bit as well on the speed, as you can see there, because again it's picking up from my voice, and it obviously that changes how it behaves as well. Put a bit more music on, 1 second. What I've done in this part of the video is I've taken it out of sound mode, and I'm going to use this optional CA8 controller. Very simple, you can't control everything. We can press the button to black it out so we can turn it off, and then what I can do is I can flick through the 8 different shows. Now remember, I've got the sound activated turned off just for this part of the video, and that's just flicking through. That was the last show we did that I really sped it up, that last sound to light bit we did. So that's show number 8, but I can slow that down. That's me speeding it up via the remote, slowing it down. So it gives us a little bit of control, but not loads and loads of control. You can't strobe it using the button, or I've not found out how to strobe. No, not using the controller. It does have some built-in strobe patterns in the programs. I think you'll find that that last Sound to Light program that we used, that had some strobing in. But to be honest, not too much, which is a good thing, because I think if a light can be a little bit too stroby, I think it can be a bit annoying. Show number 8, that was what I was using in the Sound to Light mode, where it was all sped up a little bit, and it did a little bit of strobing, but it wasn't excessive. And that's again just blacking it out. I think we've got to agree there though, the coverage that that's giving is superb, and the colours, the colours are just super sharp, really, really good. Right, again in this part of the video I've put the light on a stand, and that's not massively high at all really. It's not as high as the door. Now what I wanted to show was, oh, gone the wrong way, can't get used to this camera. I wanted to show the kind of coverage we're getting on the floor, and how bright does that look on my basically black carpet. I think that's doing really well. We're getting a lot of coverage from a very short throw. You know, it's basically, if I just pan back, if I can use this camera, right, it's basically there. So what we're getting is a great coverage there, and I can't get over how sharp that looks, those colours on our dark carpet. We'll try it with a bit of smoke now just to see what it looks like. Again, I've got it set in that slightly faster mode, but I just wanted to show you a lot of the colours with a bit of smoke on. Now, it's not all that dark in our lighting showroom. As you can see there, to the side of the picture, there's daylight streaming in. It's far from what you'd call a blackout room, but I think that's still cutting through with the smoke. I still think it looks good. I like the colours. I really like the colours. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt the light up to see if we can just get a different angle to look at it in the smoke. Right, now that is the light pointing directly at us. We've angled it up, and yeah, that looks great in smoke. So this is one of them effects that I think, you know, would look good in smoke. It looks good with the patterns. It's shining up on nicely on the dark surfaces of the floor. Obviously, when you put it into sound to light, it would flash a bit more and rotate a bit more. But I've just got it in this this non-sound active mode at the moment. But I think that looks stunning. So I hope that gives you an insight into that new fixture from Equinox. That is the Graphix 100 watt LED. I think it looks cracking. I love the way now we've gone back to a little bit of old school, where we're pushing the light onto a dichroic mirror that's given us some really sharp colours. I haven't seen that since we were using light bulbs. It's DMXable. We flick through some of the programs there. There is a lot of different programs and a lot of different features on this light. I'm going to put 2 links in the description to this video. One of them will take you through to the manual, where you'll be able to see all the different shows. I really liked we could control the speed it up, slow it down. Little CA8 controller. Has its uses. It's not like having full control like DMX, but at least you can flick through the shows and you can black it out as well. I thought within the programming it wasn't too stroby. Yeah, I like it. It's just good. I think it's different, and I think it's an absolute cracker. MicroPhase 1 likes it. For more information on pricing, click the link in the description. Cheers.